Is it any better? Okay. Is this any better? Oh, it is better. Haribol. So, so my point is that, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So yeah, you're born with only good apples. Now what happens? That's how baby, yeah. So after baby has been, picked up by all the relatives and everybody's gone gaga over them, baby forgets what happened in the womb. And they start to grow, just like you have now, right? And so whatever promises we made, forgotten. But what other kind of miseries do we have in life? Just in general. Tsunami, earthquake, hurricanes. You know what a hurricane is? What is a hurricane? No. It's Hari's cane, Bhagwan ka danda. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Hari's cane, Bhagwan ka danda, right? So, I mean, fires, so many fires going on in Canada these days, so many people lost their houses. My point is, you can't avoid any of that. Then COVID, other diseases, etc., you can't avoid that. And finally, death. Can't avoid that. The point is, if you come to this world, there will be miseries, no matter who you are. Bhagwan Krishna kya pareshani hui? When he came, Krishna is the supreme God, right? What problems did he have when he came here in Vrindavan? Yes? Hmm. Yes, yes. So what problems did Krishna have when he came? He's God himself. There's no bigger God than him. When he came to the material world in Vrindavan, what problems did he have? Just, pastime, some Leela Bhagwan ki? Ha! Every morning after breakfast, before lunch, one Rakshas will come try to kill him. Every morning. And it'll kill him. Any names? Do you know any names of the Rakshasas? Tarka is Ramchandji. Krishna is. Krishna. Putana, yes. Who else? Bakasur, Aghasur, right? Kansa, of course. My point is, God has this problem. Every day somebody was trying to kill him. What else happened with Krishna? That things that went wrong. Any ideas? He lost his love. Whose love was that? Okay, we'll talk about that. Okay. Okay, what else? Not lost, but on day one, he was separated from his parents. Mathura paida hua tha na. Once Vasudeva and Devaki, day one, taken to Vrindavan, to Nanda and Yashoda. So day one separated from the parents. You were saying something. Yeah, at the end of it, everything was destroyed, right? Also, another pastime where he was accused of stealing a jewel. Huh? Yes, Sebantak money, right? So my point is, he owns everything, and he got accused. What about Ramchandji? What problems did he have? He's God also, right? What problems did he have? He said, for 14 years, went to jail, to exile. What else? His wife got kidnapped, right? And then his wife got accused of bad character, right? My point is, if God has these problems, who are we? So does it make sense that we should think about maybe there is a better place than this world where there is no misery? Is it possible? Like, can you think of this? There must be some place, somewhere, where there's no misery. There's no birth, there's no death, there's no disease, right? There's no loss of investment. Everybody's happy. Would you like to be in that place, right? That is the place where Krishna lives. It's called a spiritual world, Golok, Krishna Lok, whatever you want to, Vaikuntha, whatever you want to call it. But there's no misery there, there's no death, no birth, no disease, nothing. So would you not be better off in a place like that? But how do we get there? Like, for example, you came to Canada from India. What's the one piece of paper you had to have? It's called visa, right? You need a visa. When I came here, which was 55 years ago, by the way, there was also another paper required called exit visa from India. So I needed an exit visa that said India is permitting me to leave the country, and then Canada needed to give me a visa say I can enter. So we have the same system in the material world that we live here and the spiritual world where we want to go. So how do you get an exit visa from this place to go there? Like somehow you have to get permission to leave this place. Otherwise what happens? 84 लाख यूनिया होते हैं ना, 8.4 million species, सुना है 84 लाख यूनिया? तो उसमें हम घूमते रहते हैं, कभी बंदर बन के, कभी छिपकली बन के, कभी सांप बन के, कभी आदमी बन के, कभी औरत बन के, कभी सुअर बन के, राइट? घूमते रहते हैं, 8.4 million species. हम सोचते हैं हम खुश हैं. Somehow, if you can get out of that cycle of birth and death and not come here, then we know we'll be happy. Does that make sense? Because that's the place where there's no misery. But you have to get out of here first. How do we get out of here? We said earlier, when you do karmas, you get apples. When you apples, you take another birth and you get a lota with full of apples. Which means as long as you have apples, you've taken another birth. But the problem is, to eat one apple, you get 10 more apples. Let me explain. Let's say, because you did good karmas, you got $10 million lottery, you win. What will you do with that $10 million? You'll do something. You can say, I'm going to give in charity, or I'm going to drink every day, or I'm going to do this or that. But every one of those activities have a result, which is more apple. So no matter what you do, whatever you do, you get more apple, good or bad. So there's no end. So the only way you can get out is that there's no apples. Then the question becomes, what can you do that gives you no apples? That is called Krishna Bhakti. When you serve Krishna, when you do Bhakti, everybody understands Bhakti, right? When you do Bhakti, then there's no apple. Not only that, if you do sincerely, then the bucket is burnt. Then there's no apples left, which means that's your exit visa. So one of the reasons we come here is to do Bhakti, which means no apples, and we can really sincere, then the bucket of apples burnt. We're free to go to a place of complete happiness, always. So that's one point. The second thing is, now you need, when you come to Canada, did you bring rupees? Huh? Dollars. Why is that? Why? Why not just bring rupees and spend here? So Hindustani dukaan hai yahan par, you know, why not? I'm sorry, say again? It's a different country, different currency. So you have to come to a country with a local currency. You cannot say, nahi, mera rupiya acha hai. Nahi chalega, nahi? Right? So you have to be, which means wherever you're going, you have to leave your original currency and get the currency of the country you're going. So similarly, if you want to go to the spiritual world, you need the currency of the spiritual world. What is the currency of the spiritual world? It's called bhakti. So as much service you can do to Krishna, for Krishna, that is your currency that allows you to go then you have something to spend. Am I making sense or? Yes? Okay. So that's the second thing. Third thing is, when Krishna says, okay, all your karmas are gone, your bucket is gone. Now, you're doing service for me to make me happy. Not you serving me to get blessed so I can get a job. You see the difference? If you come here, same place, same activity, you come here to make him happy. And we'll talk about what makes him happy, to make him happy. Versus you come and do the same thing and say, by the way, I need a better job. Or a job. Or, you know, or my mother's pressuring me, I need to get married, so I need a boy. Or girl, or whatever. Right? That's about you. So when the switch happens, and you say, I'm coming to the temple to make him happy, and let him worry about me. It's like all of you have parents, and maybe not so much now, but when you're younger, much younger, 2 years, 4 years old, who did you depend upon? At the age of 2, who do you depend upon? Parents. Parents can give you blue shirt or red shirt. You don't care. But you know, when I'm hungry, my parents will give me food. When I'm thirsty, they'll give me water. And they'll make sure I'm safe. When I run on the street, they'll hold my hand because I don't want to run across a car or anything like that. So everything I need, they'll provide. You can have the same faith in what's our Supreme Father, then the worry goes away also. 2-year-old has no worries. If we can become 2-year-olds in front of him, that okay, I'm depending upon you completely, whatever you do. But then I don't care whether you give me blue shirt or red shirt or white shirt. In other words, Jahi vidhi rakheram, tahi vidhi rahi, which means whatever situation he wants to put me in, I accept. Because it's coming from him. So now you develop the understanding that's not my hard work, it's his mercy. Am I still making sense? Or is it confusing now? I see some expression there. If you don't understand, just ask me. Is it okay? Otherwise you can say, I didn't understand. Okay. So again, my point is the bhakti is things we do to make him happy. And then say, you take care of me whichever you want. That is the relationship he wants. And when that becomes a firm relationship, he says, you become pure enough to live with me. But otherwise, imagine you go to that place and say, Krishna, I need new glasses now. Krishna, I need to spend $500 on a purse I saw. Well, then it's like material world. So it's when you come to the point where you say, Krishna, how can I make you happy? And that's the only thing you say. Then that's the spiritual. So to get that transition, you're coming to the temple, you're serving him and saying, please allow me to make you happy. And second thing is, you get to meet people like me who give you the shiksha, gyan de rahe. But the point is, because you don't know. You don't know. I'm sure I've said few things at least that you didn't think about before. And I hope I'm going to leave you with something to think about as to how to live my life. Why am I going to the temple? What's the benefit to me? And how can I really be happy in my life by being content? Because as long as ye dil mange mo, you'll never be happy. But once you get to the point where you say, no, whatever he's given me, I'm happy. Right? It's like, even like in India, in material life, sometimes we say, whatever our parents are able to do for me, they're doing the best. And we have this faith that my parents are doing the best for me. That may be less than what his parents are doing, maybe less than what his parents are doing, but it doesn't matter. Because my parents, I know what the best they can do for me, they're doing. Then you're happy. There's no complaint. There's no, same thing with Krishna. We develop that faith. Whatever he's giving me is best for me. Similarly, sometimes things go wrong in life. Maybe you're not old enough to realize that, but by the time you're at my age, you realize that whatever happens, happens for the best. I can give you many examples. I can give you two very practical examples. So I worked 43 years in the IT industry, mainly, large companies, senior positions. Twice I got laid off. Now, when you get laid off from a job that paying you $200,000, like, it's a shock, right? But every time, like both times, I'd end up in a job that paid me much, much more and a more senior position. So yeah, for 2-3 months when I was unemployed, I was saying, oh, why Krishna are you doing this to me? So he said, no, I'm glad you did that. So again, that's a faith you should all develop, that whatever he's doing is for my good. I just don't see today as that because it's hurting me today. But a month from now, 2 months from now, 6 months from now, you say, I'm glad that happened. And once you develop that faith, you develop that contentment in life. Okay? So I think I've talked much. I'm going to stop and see if there are any questions. What made sense, what did not make sense, and what are you taking with you home after this session? Totally arbitrary and totally not expected. But what are you taking home? What's your takeaway today from what I have said? Did anything make sense? Did anything stick? Is anything going to change in your life? Talk now. Your turn to talk. Without mic. Talk without mic. Yes. Okay. So I don't know if everybody heard. He's asking, is it okay to ask Krishna for something just like we asked our parents, right? So first of all, understand Krishna is parents to even your parents and to their parents. So Krishna is a supreme parent, which means he's everybody's parent. And the one question you have to ask yourself, if I don't ask my parents, who do I ask? So it's perfectly okay to ask Krishna for something that you need. I was making a different point earlier that it's better to not even bother asking. Let him take care of you. But if you can't have that faith today, by all means ask him. And he'll decide whether he gives you or not. So don't say, you know, Amitabh Bachchan style, maine tusse itni baar manga diya nahi. No, not that. Not that. But accept whatever he gives you. And that's the transition you have to make. But if you don't, then you'll have no faith. And then you get angry and go away. Because, you know, I served for so many years, and it's still what I want, Krishna doesn't give me, so what good is that? I don't believe in Krishna, I'm going. And you leave. Right? So you have to have that faith that he'll give you what he thinks is best for you, not necessarily what you want. Okay? Does that make sense to you? Okay. Any other question? Oh, by the way, we were talking earlier about Krishna is going to give you what you deserve, but doesn't mean you don't do some work. So I'll give you a story. It's like a joke kind of story, but just makes the point. There was a man, he came here every day, chanted and did service and all that. I said to Krishna, please let me win Lotto Max. Everybody knows what Lotto Max is? It's a lottery, and you know, you buy a $2 ticket and you can win $70 million, $80 million, whatever. So every day he came and begged for that. For a whole year, nothing happened. So he got angry, and he said to Krishna, Krishna, I've been serving you every day for the last 1 year. I've been asking you for this win, and you're not letting me win. And Krishna spoke. You know what he said? He said, buy a ticket. If you don't even buy a ticket, you're not going to win. My point is, you got to do something. You can't just sit back and say, okay, Krishna, you give me whatever. So we have to work. But what he gives is up to him. Okay? Yes, bro. Yes. Yes. What's the last part? Yes. But why should he? Why should he? Right? Yeah, why should he? Right? Also understand, he wants what's really good for you. Getting $80 million, is it really good for you? I keep reading about people who win big money and they go crazy. And they end up in a worse situation than they were before they won. Many, many examples. Check in the Google or the newspapers. So winning money is not necessarily good for you. So Krishna is saying, I'm your real well-wisher. So let me do what's really good for you, not necessarily money. Okay? I'll have to leave soon. So any other questions? Or yes? Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Yes. So this is why, like, if you're studying as a student, you know that you have to study things. And you have a teacher. In every subject, you have a teacher who will explain things. This is the same thing. You have to study, and you have to have somebody to explain things, right? So very important that we read books, the scriptures. And we are very fortunate that Srila Prabhupada, who's sitting right there, you know, he came here in 1965, and he wrote many, many books in the language we can understand. So we recommend you read those books. Bhagavad Gita, you can start with very simple language Prabhupada explained. So read that, they'll tell you how to act in your life. By the Bhagavad Gita has answers to all problems you can possibly imagine in your life. So if you read that, and you meet, you know, come here, talk to people like us. You know, ask your questions. Get your doubts removed. Get some instructions about how to behave in the future. Get a mentor who tells you how to lead your life, right? Those are the things that will answer the question and give you the intelligence you need to proceed in your life. And nobody's saying, come live in the temple and become a big bhakta and don't worry about the job. Nobody's saying that. You do all that. Even in Gita, Bhagavad Krishna says, do your duty, do your job, but always remembering me. What does that mean? If you have a good job, who gave it to you? Krishna. If you got A's and you got good degree, who gave it to you? Krishna. As long as you remember that, you're doing fine. And you'll be a happy person because you'll know it's not the amount of money. It's the inner peace somebody talked about. And that comes from Krishna. Okay? Yes. I'm here not every day, but I come here usually Sundays. Today, I talk to people. I love talking to people, as I'm sure you can tell. But today, my wife is here. It was her duty to do Aarti, but she's not feeling very well. So I said, okay, I'll come with you. I'll do the Aarti for you. And then when she was finishing, so I sat here and talked to you. However, I do classes, and I do a lot of mentoring. And I'm happy to give anybody my phone number if you want to call me, and I have your questions, by all means you can do that. So if somebody wants it, I'll happy to give it. And but I do have to go soon. Okay. So right now my classes are online, or I do not every Sunday, but every once in a while on Sunday I give a class here at 6 p.m. So 6:30 p.m. And it's very random, so I can't really tell you I'll be here for sure this time until they assign me. Also, there are 11 other temples, ISKCON temples in this area. So I kind of go from different temples depending upon where I get invited. But I think best way is, if you're really interested, take my number, feel free to call me, there's no problem. And ask your questions. And then if I get enough of you, I can actually start a class, a regular class. But I need at least 10, 12 people to say, yeah, I'll come every Friday or whatever. Then I can do that. Okay? Sure. Anybody else? Okay, all right. Thank you for being so attentive, and I'm sorry if I took too much of your time, but I just thought it would be nice to talk to new people and see how their life is going and, why they come to the temple, get the blessings. Okay? All right. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Sure.